Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. In this update, we are going to check out ZBC's price chart and see what's happening in the short term. And I think I may have some optimistic signs to show you. But before we get into all that, real quick, we are going to talk about this important article from CoinRabbit. And if you have time, I would actually suggest to just give it a read yourself. You are going to find a lot of interesting points. Now, if you don't want to read this article, absolutely fine. Basically, this is, in my opinion at least, a manifesto for where the whole finance is headed, and the main message in this article is very clear. The fight between crypto and banks is basically over, and the future is not really crypto replacing banks. No, it is essentially a hybrid system where speed, usability, and also utility is going to win. And right in the middle of that shift, guess what sits ZEBEC? Now, at the core of this transition is something most people never think or maybe talk about because they don't really care about it, and also they don't know anything about it, and it's called batch processing. Basically, traditional payroll and banking systems do not really move money in real time. They collect transactions, group them together, and then process them in a couple of batches, and that is exactly why you work for example, maybe a couple of weeks and then get paid quite a bit later, and the system is built around delays. It's very important to understand that, and from like a technical point of view, okay, unfortunately this is a bit inefficient. From a financial point of view, guess what, this is going to create cash flow gaps because you are effectively extending short-term credit to your employer every pay cycle, and ZEBEC is trying to flip this structure, meaning instead of batch payments, ZEBEC is streaming value continuously, and the idea is quite simple. If data can move in real time, well, okay, why shouldn't money also do the same? We moved from buying, for example, DVDs once a month to right now streaming content instantly, and finance, I think, is going through some sort of a similar shift from scheduled paychecks to just real-time salary flows, which is awesome. Now, from a fundamental perspective, this actually ties into like a much deeper economic concept called the money velocity. Basically, money that sits idle is actually unproductive, and if your salary arrives every 2 weeks, okay, that capital basically is inactive until it hits your account, and real-time streaming is going to change that dramatically. As income flows continuously, it can also be allocated instantly, and this is exactly where platforms like, for example, CoinRabbit come to the picture. Let's imagine earning in real time through ZEBEC, and that capital immediately being routed into a savings or maybe lending protocol to generate yield. Your money is no longer waiting, and it is active from the moment that it is earned, and it's going to make you a bit of money, which is always nice. Now, let's talk a little bit about the real moat in here, because I think the real one is actually B2B efficiency. You see, most crypto projects actually try to sell freedom to individuals. ZBEC in here is trying to sell efficiency to corporations, and that is a completely different game. The article actually highlights something simple and yet extremely powerful, which is this: real-time payroll reduces administrative overhead, minimizes at the same time a lot of errors, and also eliminates quite a bit of delay. And companies do not really adopt technology because it sounds innovative, okay? It's very important to understand that. The reason that in ZBEC we are seeing a lot of adoption is simply this: companies adopt technologies because it improves margins, and if ZEBEC's payment rails are cheaper and also at the same time quite a bit faster than legacy providers that rely on outdated banking wires, then okay, over a long period of time, okay, this is not really about what might happen in the next couple of weeks. No, over a long period of time, rational CFOs will actually migrate to technologies like ZEBEC. And when corporations migrate, hey, trust me, they are going to bring recurring volume, and that is sustainable, non-speculative demand for the ZBCN token, which will ultimately cause the price appreciation for the token. Then there's also the human factor in here. You see, the reporter in this article points to something bigger than just payments, which is workforce expectations. Basically, the gig company and Gen Z workers do not really think in 2-week cycles. No, many unfortunately live paycheck to paycheck and actively prefer employers offering instant payments, and the company using ZEBEC, guess what, can literally say to them, okay, work today, get paid today, effective immediately, and that is going to become a hiring advantage for those types of companies. And once a company integrates real-time pay into recruitment strategy, hey, reverting back to bi-weekly payroll is going to become almost impossible without hurting morale, and that is product stickiness for you. And it is precisely why when ZBEC attracts adoption, those companies are going to be here to stay unless something seriously breaks or maybe goes wrong, which is highly unlikely. Now, let's connect everything real quick and then we're going to go on the live chart. Basically, ZEBEC is building real-time payment engine, and they align it with compliance standards like, for example, ISO 22, and they integrate into United States banking rails through alliance like, for example, NACHA, and they add privacy layers through solutions like, for example, Alio and stablecoin integrations, which we talked about this in a couple of videos ago. So if you got time, definitely give those videos also a watch as well. I think you are going to find a lot of interesting points in these areas. Now, the result of all this is going to be crypto merging with banking, and essentially this is that hybrid system where money flows as seamlessly as data, which is really the ultimate goal that we talked about at the beginning of this article. And the big picture is quite simple. ZBEC is upgrading the operating system of global labor, and in a world where every single thing is happening almost instantly, like for example communication, delivery, and also streaming, it makes no logical sense that wages are still to this day delayed by 2-3 weeks, and real-time payments, I think we can all agree at this point, is an inevitability, and ZBEC is positioning itself as the infrastructure layer for that transition. So I do think the future for ZBEC is actually quite bright, and because of this positioning, we are going to, as we go forward, attract a whole lot more adoption, which is awesome, and hopefully this is going to translate to good price appreciation for the token. So fundamental wise, again, even this article confirms that we are 100% on the right direction. Now, let's go on the live chart and see what is happening in the short term, because there are actually some interesting points to talk about. Okay, here we are. And if you remember the last time that we talked about ZBEC, I think we were right around this area, and the idea was that, well, okay, this is most likely from the lows to about the highs, a 5-wave impulsive structure, and it actually happened at quite a bit of a rapid pace. So there were a lot of signs suggesting, yep, hopefully the bottom is in. However, that wasn't really all. You see, if you want to argue the bottom is in, okay, you do require to identify a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave off of the lows, but it's not really enough. You have to see after that 5 wave a bit of a slow and choppy move on the downside, and this was really the key point of the previous video. This move on the downside, in most cases, definitely not all, but in most cases, this thing is actually a deep move down in form of a correction structure if you want to argue the bottom is it. Now, back then, I think we were in here, and the idea was that, well, okay, is this a deep correction or not? Let's just real quick do a Fibonacci analysis. As you can see in this phase, we only retraced to about the 50% level, so maybe it's enough. But we said, yeah, you know what, maybe we need to be patient and consider having another move down. That's why we specifically talked about this move being possibly in form of an A, B, C zigzag, and we said after it, don't really be surprised if we end up having maybe another move down in order to visit the lows in here and maybe go a little bit lower in order for us to say with a lot of confidence that, yep, we are having a deep correction and now it's time for yet another great move on the upside. So what happened? We did get this move on the downside, but I think I actually was wrong, thinking about the possibility of having an ABC flat. I mean, do not get me wrong. As you can see, we have clearly taken this important low, but the shape of our correction is not, in my view, in form of an ABC. Why is that? Because in an ABC for our C leg, assuming that this is actually the wave C, okay, we're gonna have a 5-wave. However, I think we can all agree this is just a 3-wave movement as opposed to an impulse. So what is it that I'm trying to tell you? Look, in my opinion, there's a very high chance in ZBEC this is just yet another 3-wave movement, something like this, excuse me, and on a higher degree, as opposed to an expanded flat, we just had a WXY in form of a double zigzag, and whether this thing is our final low, the low of this phase in form of a correction structure or not, it can be a little bit off for the base, and I'm going to tell you what is it that you need to see in this area in order to be bullish with more confidence. So the shape of our correction definitely wasn't a flat, it was most likely a WXY, a double zigzag structure. And by the way, to what level did we retrace in this phase now? Let's just do one more Fibonacci analysis. As you can see, we retraced to about the 61.8% level. So technically, I would argue, yes, this can count as a correction structure down, a deep move on the downside, in order for me to be able to say, you know what, on a higher degree, this is 1, this is 2, and what's coming, you know what, a very strong move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. Now, having said all this, let's go on 15-minute time frame and see what is going on in this area, and can we argue this is the low of our correction? Well, here's the thing, not with a lot of confidence, at least right here, right now. What needs to happen in order for us to be bullish and say, you know what, this is actually the beginning of yet another beautiful uptrend? But here's the thing, let's zoom in more and count some waves. I'm thinking probably from the lows to about here, this is a wave 1, this is a correction for wave 2, good move up into wave 3, maybe to around here or maybe even here, probably this is a correction for 4, and we are most likely going to get soon yet another move up into our wave 5. Now, at that point, be patient, because we're not really going to be out of the woods yet for 2 important reasons. Reason number 1 comes down to Elliott waves, and you know it. If you want to be bullish, okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is wave 3, and wait a minute, where is our wave 4 and 5? Answer is, even by that point, we're not gonna have it yet. So what we want to see in an ideal scenario is a consolidation for our wave 4 and then another move up into wave 5 in order for us to be able to say, yup, this is the low of our correction. Now, point number 2, you see, in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, we talked about this so many times, but I think this is actually such an important area to consider that actually completely, in my opinion at least, worth talking to in every single update. This thing right in here right now is blocking us from going much higher, and as long as we are under it, I do think there is like a real chance that we're gonna have maybe like another move down and get a rejection from this important key area. So what should we do? Again, conclusion is the same. We need to still be a bit patient and see, are we going to have another move up in here, maybe like a stronger move in order to take the previous major pivot high about, let's say, 0.24 of a cent, and then have a consolidation and then another move on the upside. Let's not even count on this phase up. Let's just say by the time that we're going to get to about here, I think we can have a decent picture and a decent idea of what might be the next likely move in ZBCN. And right now, at least, I do not believe we are having a long nor even a short opportunity. Do not get me wrong though. Overall, I fully believe that we are on the right direction, but it's not necessarily confirmed yet. So let's hope that we get another move on the upside and then consolidation, because trust me, this is really going to determine what is going on in ZEBEC, and is this actually our final bottom or not. Now, as my final point, let's go on weekly time frame, zoom in more and check out indicators, and then wrap up today's update. There we go. So what do we have? Still, unfortunately, a sell signal in a stock RSI, not really ideal. especially when you combine it with the fact that in MACD we are also having a sell signal as well. So if you just want to go according to indicators in weekly time frame, the situation is not really ideal. But again, I would argue reclaiming this very, very important area, which the higher band of it is about, let's say 0.23 of a cent, could potentially and hopefully completely change the picture. As long as we're not reclaiming it, again, I think we might still be in a bit of danger. What is going on in daily time frame? Okay, finally we are starting to see some signs of hope, because in a stock RSI we are now having a confirmed buy signal, and you might say, well, okay, this was also a confirmed buy signal, and as a result of it we got a pass. Why is it that I wasn't actually optimistic right around these areas? Or let's just say this, why is it that I wasn't as optimistic as I am now? That's actually because of MACD. See, it seems like that, yep, we want to get a buy signal, but this isn't at the moment confirmed yet. You need to wait a little bit more until the current daily candle closes, and at that point, if we have this buy signal in MACD, okay, a combination of these two important buy signals can be a very good sign, hopefully indicating that yes, we are on the bullish track, and in like very, very short term, we're gonna have another move up, and hopefully if we get one, all eyes at that point on this important level, which again, the higher band of it is about 0.23 cents. All you want to see is a massive breakout and then consolidation above it. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ZBCN's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.